Hey everybody, welcome to the Dodgeball Marketing Podcast. I'm Michael and this is Chris.
How you doing?
And today, this is episode 20, we're going to answer the question, should I advertise on social media? So what we're going to talk about here is kind of the universe of what is available and what social media channels are a good fit for which businesses and how this works with or is separate from the world of search engine advertising. So we're considering, first off, considering social ad versus paid search ads. These are two different worlds. I would say that I've been doing online marketing for 20 years, and in kind of the history of online marketing, we had search advertising, we had banner advertising for a long time, and it was bought the way that traditional advertising was bought.
Yep.
And then search advertising really introduced PPC, pay-per-click.
Yep.
And so we thought of like the search engine guy or girl as the pay-per-click person, but now we've got these other channels. We've got some other real estate that's also pay-per-click, but it's in this world of social media marketing.
Yep.
So, Chris, you're kind of our guy for advertising, any advertising campaigns. You and I have worked together for years on a lot of campaigns. You run a lot of campaigns that we bring in and that are part of what we're doing. Talk to us about social versus paid and how that fits into an overall marketing strategy and what's a fit for whom.
The way I look at it is social versus search is who takes the first action, the customer or the advertiser. So in search, it's always the user that takes the first action. So they're typing in emergency plumber, Sacramento. They're typing in roofers near me. So they're signifying to the platform that I've got a problem to solve. I'm looking for this kind of person.
That's the first time that there's content or information that exists in the interaction.
The customer makes the first move and says, I'm looking for something. And then the advertiser comes in and for text ads, they want to bid on those and get in front of them and hopefully with their page, with their ad and with their page, persuade them that they're the best option and collect the lead or get the sale, whatever the goal is. So that's the context where the customer makes the first move. Hey, I'm looking for something. Social ads are different because the advertiser makes the first move. When you're on social, you're not looking to opt in for an ebook. You're not looking to buy a shirt. That's not why you got on there. You were scrolling through your feed and something popped out. The advertiser made the first move. So the way that I think those are different is you don't want to advertise on social unless you have something to offer. So an example with the roofer would be, if you're a roofer, you got to be on Google first. Why? Because not everybody needs
those people are further down in the sales funnel.
Right. So all you need on Google pay-per-click is you put your ad out there and then you persuade them why you're the best roofer that you already know that they want. That you already know they need a roofer. You persuade them whether you're the best one. On social, you don't want to just put a message out there if you're a roofer and say, hey, we do the best roofs, we're reliable, BBB accredited, because 95% of the people that are out there don't currently need a new roof.
It's not what they were thinking about.
So you're gonna waste a lot of money. Now, what you could do is offer a free roof inspection. Now that's an offer.
So higher in the sales funnel on social.
Yeah, and then you can nurture that lead over time. A free roof inspection might be something you go out on social with.
Or if a storm just went through and you're advertising,
you could storm chase.
Is your roof damaged?
You could storm chase. Yeah, that's a different
free storm check.
Yeah, then that's a case where you.
But again, it's the advertiser is putting the first, is opening the conversation. Exactly. Okay, so that's really good. So search and social
have an offer on social.
Universes of how that's work.
You need an offer. If you don't have an offer to put forward, if it's just, hey, we're the ice cream shop.
Yep.
You're not going to see much results. You got to have a compelling offer.
That's great. Okay, next up. So let's talk about this a little further. Social ads versus social content marketing. So what is, and you can open this up to PPC or to search ads and social ads. But what are these two universes of ads versus content marketing? It's a little bit like what you're talking about, but how are they different?
For me, it's who you're addressing, your audience. Okay. Your organic social, what you call social content marketing, your organic, like posting to your page organically, is for your audience. They already know who you are. They've been into the ice cream shop. They've bought a roof from you already. Yeah. And they follow your page. They have familiarity with you. So you're gonna give those people content, different content than you would completely a new audience, right? So that's the main difference that I would think. Social organic content is important because you have to cultivate your audience and stay in front of them. But the message that you send to them versus your cold audience is going to be different.
And there's room for both of these. I see social content marketing as an extension of the website. If you're creating a website for your SEO strategy, this is actually how we implement it. If you have content you're producing on a regular basis for your search engine strategy, new blog posts, new services pages, new case studies, new sample projects, new product lines where you're sharing some introductory information to get people familiar with this new service. That's content that's regularly flowing toward your website. You can also share that on your social channels because those are a good little hook for people to keep tabs on what you're doing or for customers to stay engaged. And it's also a handy place for offers, things that are a little bit more noteworthy, but social advertising is really to open up these new relationships and new conversations. So there's room for both.
Here's a quick example of how the content would be different from the audiences. So if you're a med spa, for your organic, you might post something like, "Hey, it's Kate's birthday. She's one of our estheticians. She's been with us for 5 years. Happy birthday!" And maybe a lot of people on the page know her and like, "Happy birthday!" So that's kind of your insider kind of content, like sharing with your audience. You wouldn't share that with your.
That's not something.
If you're running ads for that med spa, what you're going to run is
10% off this service.
Today. we're giving half for now to the next week. We're giving half off of hydrofacial. We're only accepting 20 people for this limited time offer. Click here to get it.
Good. And so I would also add that with social ads versus social content marketing, sometimes these strategies are coming from two different directions. They're coming together in the social media channels, but they could be two different skill sets. And so having those under one roof is kind of a unique thing. We do both. We do both of them for a comprehensive social media program, but they're really two different creatures. Okay, next, let me ask you about this. We've seen, so we want to talk about social ads, choosing social channels for what you're trying to accomplish. We've seen Facebook has been around for a while. They started to monetize their platform with advertising. Twitter's got advertising. LinkedIn's bought by Microsoft, and now they're getting a little bit more intentional about what they're offering. Of all these channels that are out there, how do you guide folks in the right direction for which channels to start off on?
I would say, where do your customers hang out and what mindset are they in when they're on the platform? So where do your customers hang out? My company has a client that sells a DVD Blu-ray film. The film happens to appeal mostly to people 50 and older. The data shows us that's who buys the film. Well, guess where those people are hanging out?
Facebook.
They're hanging out on Facebook. But to a large degree. Even more than younger, like it's Facebook's starting to skew older. So we advertise on Facebook for that. If you're selling fashion accessories for girls in their 20s, you're gonna have way less success on Facebook because people in their 20s they're gravitating towards platforms like TikTok and probably Instagram.
I think so,
so you're not going to want to go heavy on Facebook for something like that, but just because of the age of the person. So number one, I would say, where does your audience hang out? Two, to a slightly lesser extent, would be what mindset are they in on the platform. So if you are a HR consultancy company, and you're advertising a white paper on what the 2021 trends for HR, something like that. You might want to look at LinkedIn first, not because your customer isn't on Facebook, they probably are, but because they're in a different mindset. They're in a work-oriented, professional development, learning mindset on LinkedIn. So you might try LinkedIn to get downloads for your new white paper. So it's similar platform. I would say similar platform age-wise, although I don't know the real numbers to that, as Facebook, but different mindset. People are looking to do different things. They're going to learn, network, and interact on a professional level. So those are the two things. Where's your customer hang out, and what mindset are they in when they're on those platforms?
That's good. I tend to do that. I tend to silo work stuff to LinkedIn, and then I use Twitter for a lot of news and work, and then I use Instagram plus Twitter for hobbies. Because I get visuals, if it's scuba diving or aviation, I'm interested in that on Instagram because I want to see the cool pictures somebody got at Sombrero Reef or the shark they saw or whatever. And it's more visual and it's more like, chill time rather than
leading in work time,
taking a break, work mode. Okay, next, something that we talk a lot about here are sales funnels, and where people are. And social media has really opened up for us a lot of tools for reaching people who are very high up in the sales funnel.
Yeah.
So what do you think of when you're putting together a strategy for advertising for brand awareness? How does social media, how do these advertising channels help you, give you another tool for doing brand awareness?
So I would only use social for brand awareness if you can afford it, because it takes a lot.
So that's a parameter. You're talking about a big investment to break through.
It takes more investment up front, and it takes a longer term investment for it to start to pay off, because you're targeting people that your only goal is to let them know who you are, and they may not be ready in the first 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Here's an example. We're in Nashville. Hiller Plumbing is one of the big plumbing companies here.
Yep.
They do a ton of awareness advertising. Now they can because they're really big, but I guarantee you when they started out, they weren't doing all the TV commercial buys that they're doing now. So I would say if you're prepared to spend a lot of money to generate a lot of activity 6 to 12 months from now, then yes, do brand awareness. If you're new and an upstart, if you're a new plumbing company, you just started, you're 2 or 3 guys or something, probably the worst thing you could do is start to spend $10,000 a month on your local Facebook advertising, because it's just going to take too long to play out.
Yeah. So for offers and leads, you're gonna maybe look to focus on having an offer, having something 15% off labor costs, something maybe, tactical that you can
or
do.
hit a really go to Google search and if you're new in plumbing, go to Google search, hit a really targeted area and where you're not spending a ton of money. And honestly do organic referrals, BNI, that kind of thing. So it's just a bigger spend. Like Procter and Gamble can do brand advertising for their new detergent or whatever because they have the budget to do that. So I would say it's brand advertising is valuable, but you have to understand that you need a prolonged spend over a higher spend over a prolonged amount of time for it to pay off. It can pay off, and it does. But it's not appropriate for smaller advertisers.
We'll have some of those coming in this year in the healthcare space. We actually are going to be helping bring a bunch of different new healthcare products into North America that have been developed in another country and are sort of expanding to North America. So I think that's one where there'll be a 6 to 12 month sort of time frame for introducing something new. Cool. So audience for audience growth, or advertising for audience growth and nurturing. Let's talk about that. A lot of times we're not necessarily trying to get a lead or a sale right away. We're trying to capture audience. There's email capture. There are other types of captures, likes and shares. What's the framework and how does it work to use social media marketing, advertising in particular, to gain and capture an audience? Yeah,
social I think is great for that kind of audience growth, lead generation, because the threat level is pretty low. If you're offering something valuable to someone, I'll give you an example from one of the clients that we carry with my companies. We serve a homeschool curriculum company, and so we have 2 modes that we go into, right? So the one, there's a certain curriculum buying period for homeschool curriculum, right? And it's
there's a lot of seasonality.
It's from April until September when people are going to the new year. So when that's in effect, we're doing sales, buy. When it's outside of that period, we're doing lead generation, and it's really effective. We put together a huge bundle of homeschool resources. And so we put it out there to our audience because we know our audience doesn't want to buy them. They're out of market. So we offer them content in exchange for the email address. So it works symbiotically because we're getting downloads on this content at around 88 cents a piece, right? So that they go into our system and bam, they get nurtured through email. And then when we have a sale, we tell them about the sale, and then we sort of cash in on that on the back end. So I think overall, lead gen is great for social because, like I said before, they're not there necessarily to buy something. They're not there to do business. They're here to interact. So a threat level, a low threat level of, hey, check out this video series, check out this download, check out this ebook.
So these would be middle of the sales funnel. They know that they might know you exist, but you may not have the stickiness with them. And so you can take that interaction on social media and maybe turn it into an email address that you have in your database.
Right. So
Okay.
so again, it's like you make the first move. You offer them something for free in exchange for their emails, and then you nurture over time, and then you can sell to them.
Excellent.
That I think is one of the best uses. I always advise people, if they can, go out there either with a really compelling offer for services or lead generation. Give them something valuable in exchange for the email.
Excellent. So there's always an exchange. Social media is not just hammering people with ads. It's creating value, offering value in order to get value.
Give them an offer. Find out what they
Excellent.
want and give it to them. Yeah.
Good. All right. This was Should I Advertise on Social Media? Hope this was helpful. Drop your comments, subscribe, and let us know you're out there. Run over to dodgeballlseo.com, drop us a chat, and say hi. And really appreciate all the feedback we've gotten on everything we're doing this year, and super excited. We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.